My name is Becca. This is the Hatha Yoga class. So we are starting off with a breath work, of course, and then moving on to flows for the lower back and the hips, and then sun salutation, strength, balance, and back to relaxation. Okay? So go ahead and get started in any comfortable position you like. You can be seated, you can be reclined, you can be child's pose, whatever helps your brain get into the right space this morning. We'll go ahead and close the eyes. Just take a few moments to notice how the breath is moving through the body. Might notice any places and spaces that move with the breath. Maybe you also notice some sensations that are coming up in the body. Maybe in muscle areas or joints. Maybe these are sensations that you've felt many times before, or you might notice something new. Be aware of these places as we move through class. So when we come back to observing our breath at the end of class, we'll notice if there's been any possible changes, or anything feels different. With the eyes so closed, we might move to butterfly. So we're going to bring our feet together, knees to the side. You can be seated or reclined. And if you're seated, you might choose to fold over the feet. If you're reclined, you can scoot the feet closer to you or push the feet further away. Butterfly is a good chance to notice your hip flexors, your quads, and your lower back. Let's go ahead and bring the knees together. So we're going to hug the knees in and sit tall. So if you're on your back, we'll go ahead and roll up to seated. And we're going to start with the legs stretched out in front. So you can sit on a block if you want. If you know you tend to sort of slump over in the back and you need to find some length, you can sit on a block or a rolled mat, or just be really conscious of your spine. So we always want to start from a lifted, lengthened position, okay, friends? So on our inhale, we're going to reach our arms overhead, and then on our exhale, we'll fold at the hip and sweep towards the feet, though you don't have to reach them. And then inhale, half lift up, hands under the knees. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, arms overhead, big reach. And then on your exhale, fingertips come behind you. We open the chest, drop our shoulders, maybe lift the chin. And then on the inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift up, neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, fingertips behind. So we'll do it one more time together, and then I'll send you off for a few moments on your own. So lift the arms overhead. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift up, neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fingertips behind, open the chest, drop your shoulders. So if you're feeling comfortable, you can close your eyes as well to help you follow your breath. So in general, we're on the lift when we lift our arms, we're on the inhale as we lift our arms or open up, and we're on the exhale as we fold or bring our fingertips towards the mat. So let's cycle through 2 more times, and then we'll meet in seated. If you get there first, that's okay. Just take your time. Back to seated. Maybe you want to wiggle your feet, move your toes, free your feet. All right, so let's go ahead and cross the legs. We're going to twist and hold. And again, we want to sit from that tall position. So if you want to stay on your block, that's okay. So lift our arms overhead. I'm going to go to my left first and bring one hand to the knee, other hand behind you. You're going to sit tall, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fingertips to the other side, sit tall. One more time, inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, other way. Inhale, lengthen. And then we're going to hold on this right side. Inhale, lengthen. This time we're going forward, so walk your hands right between the knees. And excuse me, we'll drop the head, pressing the hands one way and the sits bones the other. Walk back to the center, and then walk our fingertips behind us. Open the chest, drop your shoulders. Find your way back to the middle. Go ahead and hop over to all fours, coming onto our hands and knees. So when you're on your hands and knees, if you need to pad the knees, you can fold the middle part of the mat or grab your towel if that's something you want to do. So coming to all fours. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, okay? And so we'll start off with cow pose, and on the inhale, we drop our belly, lift the tailbone, and then lift the chest, the heart, and the chin, and look up. And reverse directions, round the spine. Look at the knees for cat pose. And again, drop the belly. And round the spine. If you want to add some hip circles, you're welcome to do that. Maybe your challenge is moving slowly if you tend to speed through things, okay? So you can think about your vertebrae moving one at a time. Sometimes it helps you slow down. You can even count, maybe try to do a 4 count movement or a 3 count movement. Good. And then after this next set, come back to all fours. We're going to stretch out our calf muscles. So send your right toes back. Your toes are going to stay on the floor. And we'll press through our heel and say hello to your calf muscle. Sometimes it says more hellos than other days. So, and then back to the middle and then switch sides. Left toes, press back. See what this one says to you. I know, right? All right, come back to the middle and then into child's pose. So I like to separate my knees a little bit so the belly settles down. Press the hips towards the heels. We can bring our arms out in front. If you notice that your shoulders are tense, we can drop the elbows. And we're moving into downward facing dog. So if you ever get stuck like, what is my best position for this? Start in child's pose because your arms are where they need to be. So shoulder width apart, you're gonna plant your feet and plant your hands right where they are. You don't have to move them. So hands down, curl the toes, lift the hips, press the hips up and back. So from child's pose, you're always in the right position for your body for down dog, okay? So when we think about alignment, we have a neutral spine from our tailbone all the way down into our head, into our neck, eye gaze to the legs, and we're squeezing our shoulder blades behind us and the chest is open. And if you want to take a moment to walk the dog, we're going to press one heel into the mat and then the other. If you want to lift and lower the leg, you can too. Just watch for clearance behind you, whether you're in your room and there's a person or a wall behind you, or at home and there's a piece of furniture or a dog or a cat, right? So we want to do three-leg dog. We're going to shift our weight into one foot and then lift the leg, opposite leg up, and then exhale down and switch sides. So you only have to lift as high as your body will allow you to, okay? So you don't have to do anything extreme. And it's an inhale up and then an exhale down, okay? Very nice. And if you ever feel like, you know, I need a break from down dog, you can drop it in child's pose, that's okay. Down dog, you really do work your shoulders, right? And then we're all gonna take a break in in child's pose. So we're gonna drop the knees and sit back. If you want, you can tuck your hands by the feet. And then we're gonna extend those arms back out in front of us. We're gonna move through our vinyasa flow together 3 times, and so our vinyasa flow is a part of the sun salutation along the floor, okay? So arms are shoulder width apart, and from child's pose, we lift up to plank, and you can be on the knees or on the toes, either way. I know it's early, so if you're on your knees, it's all right. Elbows back, biceps forward, we squeeze our elbows in, and we lower down to the mat. Inhale, press the floor away, lift the heart for cobra. Exhale, release to the mat. Press back, all fours or down dog. And we'll do that same thing again. Finding plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the chest, drop our shoulders. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Press back to down dog. And one more time, find plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press away. Exhale, lower. Press back to down dog. And then we'll step or walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. We're going back to forward fold. Exhale, soft knees. Fold at the hip. And then we come on down. So when we're in our forward fold, some things to notice.
We're just gonna let our neck be long so our eye gaze to the knees. You don't have to crane up and look at the ceiling. Your hands can be on the floor, it can be on a block if you have it. If you're coming to ragdoll with the arms on the elbows, we want to take a bigger bend in the knee, okay? Because that helps support our back. And then the other option is to stay in a half lift with the hands underneath your knees, okay? Very good. And let's inhale all the way up. Stretch the arms overhead. Come back to a chest expansion. We're gonna reach the fingers behind, open the heart, drop your shoulders, maybe lift your chin. Very good, release, and get the urge to wiggle. Sometimes you just can't help it, right? Shake things out. All right, so from the top of the mat, we're gonna move through our usual sun salutations 4 times. If you don't want to do the vinyasa flow, you can do down dog, cat cows. You can also hold down dog if you want my red flows. That's cool too. So from the top of the mat, we'll inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. We're gonna lift to down dog, and you pick cat cows or move with me through the flow, starting with plank. We're gonna exhale down. Inhale, lift away. Exhale, release. Press back to down dog. We're gonna step to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sit back in the chair. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift again. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. Lift to down dog, and either cat cows or again the flow with me. Start to plank. You exhale, lower. Inhale, press away. Exhale, lower. Back to down dog. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to chair. All right, they're halfway through this cycle. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. Lift to down dog. And move through your flow. Back to down dog. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale. Exhale to chair. One more time through. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. Step back to plank. Lift to down dog. And head through your flow. Step to the top of our mat. Inhale. Exhale to chair. And then we come to mountain, either with the arms to the side or at the heart. Always like to take a moment in mountain pose here. Catch our breath, but also we can really pay attention to our posture, all right? So when we're standing, obviously posture starts with our feet because they're at the base. So we're lifting up our toes, and then replace your toes down the mat. If your brain still didn't get a reminder that your toes exist, you can do it again, okay? Sometimes we forget those toes. And then if you break a toe, you know it's there, right? So we want to pay attention to them on days that they're feeling good too. So as we move up to the leg, the knees soft, and our quad is strong. And you can tell the difference. If you lock your knees, what happens to your back? Your back just sort of like slumps down. But if we keep our knees soft, we can keep our long line through our torso, back stays happy, abs stay strong, and relax your shoulders. So this is your posture you can choose to do anytime, anywhere, right? Okay. So on our inhale, we're gonna bring our arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. It's a great pose to try while you're waiting. All right, so step back with our right foot. We're coming to warrior one, so it's just a natural step back. And it'll be a little bit different for everybody, just depending on your leg length, right? So as we step back, we're keeping our hips square to the top of the mat. Everybody looks good. And bearing down through our feet. So you should be able to feel your calf muscle there on your right side, okay? As you're pressing through your foot, right? So keeping our hips square to the top, hands can be at the heart, overhead. You can do those goalpost arms. Those of you who love reverse prayer can do that too. Or imagine yourself doing it. That's all right. Sometimes we know how it goes. We know how it goes. All right. So squeezing those shoulder blades, hearts open. You realize you haven't exhaled in a while. Now's a good chance to do that too. Okay. And then you hear the collective breath. It's kind of cool. All right. So let's lift our arms overhead and spin out our right foot. So we're sinking into warrior two. So now our hips are square to the long part of the mat. Your left heel is bisecting your right arch, okay? And another thing to notice with your left knee's over the ankle. If you tend to roll on your inner arch, we're gonna press the knee towards the pinky toe, okay? So that way we can keep everything stable, all right? So it's going to bring those arms up if they're not there already. And let's watch your shoulders. If you tend to live with a coat hanger and still in your shirt and it's up here, take a roll down. All right? We don't want to live like that, right? Keep it loose. On our inhale, and take our left palm to the sky, reach up. Eye gaze can look to the sky or down to your back foot, so we're feeling the length through the rib cage. So we're dipping into side angle, which is our big strength pose. So if you've been with me a while, you know there are lots of options here. If you need to keep it light, you can keep your left arm on the thigh. If you want to have a little more strength based in, we're going to straighten the arms so the right fingers point to the floor, or your left fingers point to the floor, or you can lift your left arm up parallel to the floor. You can also wrap that upper arm behind the back. So our main thing with side angle is that we're keeping a long torso and that our heart is facing forward. So we're squeezing those shoulder blades together. So that upper shoulder is probably pushing back just a little bit to keep your chest open. Nice job, friends. All right, you're gonna lift up to warrior two. We're gonna do something a little different with triangle. So we're gonna straighten the left leg, bring our hands to the heart. So we did this a few weeks ago. It's a good prep for triangle to make sure that we get our body in the right place for our own alignment, okay? So keep your hands at the heart. On our exhale, we're going to dip to the left side so that the left elbow comes towards the thigh. If you don't reach it, it's okay. And then inhale. Ooh, find the center again. Going down. Exhale, tip so that left elbow goes towards your thigh. And then inhale, find your way to the center. One more time, we're going to dip down. And then we'll stop. Don't move your torso. And we're just going to open our arms. So this is probably where our perfect triangle is for us. So what we're hoping to do is keep the chest open. We shouldn't feel like we need to strain. There's no reason that bottom hand needs to reach the floor, okay? All right, so we're squeezing those shoulder blades together. Think about our arms like propellers on the front of a plane, right? So we're keeping them in line. Nice. So on our inhale, arms lift up to warrior two. We'll windmill the hands to the front foot and then step into forward fold. ease ourselves up. Maybe one leg feels a little more heated than the other. We're gonna even them out. So I always switch sides of my mat just so I'm facing the microphone. You in here can go however you want. It's your mat, okay? So back to the top of the mat. So on our inhale, let's switch our arms overhead. Exhale to the heart, and then we're gonna step back with the left foot. So warrior one, it's a natural step back. And we're pressing down through our left heel, so you should feel your calf muscle in the back again, okay? So bearing down, squaring our hips to the top of the mat. You can pick wherever you like your arms to be. You're welcome to switch it up this time. You can have it the heart, overhead, scarecrow, really Super Bowl smart, goalpost arms, whatever works for you, okay? Or you can also come to your reverse prayer if that's what you like. Nice job. So lift the arms overhead, and then we're going to slide our left foot down the mat. So we're now warrior two, hips to the long part of the mat. So we're going to check out our knee on the right side, knees over the ankle. If you tend to roll on your inner arch, we're going to press the knee back because we want that foot to be stable. And as we're lifting up those arms, check the coat hanger. Make sure you take it out on the back of your shirt. And then those shoulders relax. You take a shoulder roll or two, go ahead. And then we'll take our right arm to the sky. Eye gaze can look up or to your back foot. So finding your length through your right side body. Nice job. And back to our strength pose, side angle, just on the right side. So as we dip down, if you want to keep it light, right arm stays on the thigh. If you want to kick it up, we're going to straighten the right hand or bring the right arm parallel to the floor. You can also wrap the arm behind the back. So notice where your heart is facing. Should be facing forward. To those in the room, you're sending your love to the person in front of you or to your reflection in the mirror, right? Not to the floor, okay? So we want to send it out. Nice. Lift up to warrior two. We're going to straighten our right leg. We're going to do that little triangle prep again. So bring our hands to the heart. And taking that right elbow now, we'll tip right elbow to right thigh. Inhale, find the center. One more, or two more times rather. Exhale, dip down. Inhale, find the center. And one more time. Bring that elbow down. Don't move your torso, just spread your arms open. And we're feeling nice and wide. So, squeezing our shoulder blades together across the back, keeping the chest open. I think I mentioned this last week, but sometimes it's fun to practice triangle against pressing against an actual wall so you can really feel your shoulder blades going back. So something you can try if you have a vacant wall or if you're at the gym. We've got lots of vacant walls. Okay. All right, so lift up to warrior two. And then we'll windmill our hands over the front foot. So you can do your yogi's choice. You can step to all fours, down dog, forward fold, child's pose, wherever your heart takes you, all right? And then once you land, you can do some flows if you like. Maybe you just want to stay still, that's okay too.
to drop the knees, sit back to child's pose. Arms can stretch out in front or come by your feet, whatever you like. Good chance to reclaim your breath. If you remember where those sensations were in your body that you found at the beginning of class, maybe see if you can locate those again now. See if things have changed, or things feel different because now we're in child's pose. So if our arms are tucked by the feet, let's go ahead and extend them out to the front, and we'll ease up to all fours again. So before we come to stand, let's just go through a couple cat and cows at our own breath count. All right, so our inhale is the cow. Okay, so whenever you're ready, you'll dip the belly, lift the tailbone, and then lift the chest, the heart, and the chin, and look up. And exhale, we'll take the round of the spine, look at the knees. And let's go ahead and do that one more time, nice and slow. Beautiful job. I hear breathing. That's always good. Okay. All right, back to our neutral spine. I love hearing people take deep breath. It's a good thing. Okay. So let's go ahead and stand up. Very good. We'll go ahead and stand up all the way. So it's everybody's favorite balance time, right? We like balance time, don't we? Yay. Okay. So the other week we practiced some airplane and Warrior 3. We're going to try that again. Okay. If you would like to come by a wall, that's fine. For your airplane wing, you're going to touch the wall from the side here. Okay. Those of you in the room, nobody's too close to the person behind them, but you probably just want to watch because we're going long. We want to make sure we don't knock into our friends. Okay, don't take your friends down. That's not good. Okay. This is always where Anne's cat. I love the way because he'll circle her when she's doing this, which is fun. All right, so we're going to step forward with one thing I want to tell you with the arms before we step forward. So airplane, your arms can either be arm out along the side like wings. You can have your arms down along your side. Warrior 3 is a tricky one because your arms are going overhead. But what you have to watch out for is rounding your spine because it's really easy to go boop. And then when you do that, your spine is rounded, and guess what's going to happen to you? You're going down. You don't want to do that. So if you do choose to put your arms overhead, maybe bend your elbows just a bit so you can drop your shoulders, and you will feel the difference between those dropped shoulders and a straight spine and moving forward. Okay? If that's just not working for you, arms out or arms down, or hands at the heart, it's all good. Okay. So now step your right foot forward. So remember your toes, driving through that big toe, soft knee, strong quad. The hips will square to the mat, and we're thinking about our body coming into a capital T. So wherever that is for you, you just imagine yourself going to capital T. You don't have to quite get there. So we're going to flex that left foot as we tilt, just so we can get our muscles strong, engaged on that side, and we'll start lowering down. Coming into a capital T. Eye gaze out ahead of you on the mat. And then we're ready to land our foot. Everybody did great. We're going to land our foot. Nice job. All right. Let's switch sides. All right, left foot forward. Soft knee. Strong quad. Long through the spine. You can switch up your arms if you feel like you want to try something different. So we're going to flex our right foot as we hinge at the hip. And so coming down into that capital T, eye gaze out ahead of you on the mat. Very nice. Take a breath. And we're going to land our foot. All right. So as you know, I like to do this twice because it gets some muscle memory. You might have found one leg was a little iffier than the other. So you're going to do that leg first so we end on a high note.
Okay, so whichever leg was a little wonky. Let's do that one first. So you step that foot forward, whatever it is. Soft knee, and we're gonna try to keep those hips square to the mat. So if you feel like you're opening up in your hip to the side, you're gonna try to drop that hip down, okay? Now as we imagine ourselves coming that capital T, we're gonna press to our heel, that back heel. Very good, and then land the foot. Nice. All right, so as we go to the other side, we step that foot forward. This should be your high note side, right? Keeping a soft knee. Hips square to the mat. And on your exhale, we're gonna flex your back foot, and we're gonna start to lower down. Very good. Everybody stayed. Not too much turbulence in those airplanes. Good for you. All right. Nice job. So let's head back down to forward fold. So you're going to sweep our arms overhead. Exhale, soft knees. Find your forward fold. You should be warmer. At least a little bit now, right? So find our hands wherever they need to be. You can always come to half lift with the hands under the knees. Finding that length in the lower back, relaxing your neck. And then find our way to seated. So I'm going to bring yourself down. Job. So for our hips, you'll be able to either choose to do butterfly, seated, reclined, or you might like prayer squat, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. So butterfly, feet together, knees to the side. If you feel like you need to make some adjustments, you can sit on a block. You can also lie back and be completely flat on the mat. We'll get there eventually anyway, so you can just get a head start, okay? If you're seated and you want to fold over the feet, you'll feel your back stretch a little bit more. That's fine too, okay? So for prayer squat, we're gonna come up to our feet, and we want the entire foot to be on the mat. So if you feel yourself tipping up on your toes, we're gonna adjust our feet probably a little bit wider so we can get the heel down. If it's not comfortable, we're going to just come back to butterfly, okay? The other intermediate point is if you have a block, you can sit on the block and then practice getting your hips in the right space, and you can do it that way. Or just come back to butterfly. There's no reason you have to do this, okay? So we're bringing our elbows to the inside of the knee if we're in prayer squat, tailbones down, head is up, okay? And we're breathing, okay? I'm hearing breathing. So if you find that the veins are starting to pulse in your forehead and your teeth are clenching to go, that's when I want you to breathe. Okay, relax your jaw because the air needs to flow. All right, friends. You need to smile at yourself. That's always a good thing to do too. Right? Then if you're smiling or laughing, I know you're not clenching your teeth. That's the other, yeah, so. So you have to make people laugh. All right. Nice job. All right, so we're gonna come back down. Oh, I know. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Okay, so we're gonna roll back down to the back. So I like to switch up hips every week because you get so used to one that you forget about the other until we do it. So it's good to switch it up so you don't get too comfortable, right? So we're going to work with stretching our hamstrings on our back. We're going to do one leg at a time. So just let your left leg get a break at the moment so it rests on the ground. We're going to flex our right foot, send it up to the ceiling. So we're going to keep our head and neck on the mat. You do not have to try to reach your foot. That's not the objective here, okay? We're just going to hold on to the leg at whatever point works for you, okay? And we'll flex the foot.
And then on your exhale, you're bringing the leg closer to your torso. This is when using the metric system is more helpful because you can say a millimeter. You could go that much closer. Or so it doesn't have to, it's whatever works, okay? If you start feeling something like, oh boy, that's it right there, right? Nice job. So go ahead and bring that leg down. Woo, we're gonna switch sides. Lift up your left. We're gonna flex the foot again. So remember, your head can just relax on the floor. Hold the leg at any point, and then as you're ready, you're gonna bring the leg closer to you. Sometimes we're stretching our hamstring. We might find our leg shakes a little bit, especially if we're really tight. That's okay. Your body is just telling you something, right? Telling you need to stretch your hamstring more often. Our hamstrings can get tight from all sorts of things, of course, from running and biking. It can also get tight from sitting too long, like we often do for work, right? So, nice job. So let's go ahead and release that foot down. Woo. All right. So bring our feet flat to the mat. We're going to take a bridge together. So we're going to flow up and down twice and then hold. However, if you prefer to flow, you can do that instead of holding with me. So the feet are grounded. If you do want a little more intensity, you can put a block between your knees. It just helps you stay in alignment and keeps that engagement on your thighs there. So on our inhale, we're going to slowly lift the hips up towards the sky. Eye gaze to the ceiling, and then exhale, lower down. So we're going to flow one more time and then hold, and inhale, lift the hips towards the sky, and then exhale, lower down, and then one more time and hold. We're going to lift the hips up. We're going to walk the shoulder blades underneath us. Hands can rest on the ground, or you could clasp under the hips. So even when we're in bridge pose, we're keeping in alignment. So the knees are squeezing towards one another so we can keep the knee and hip aligned, okay? So we're working with bridge, we strengthen our back. Also we get a delightful stretch down our quads, right? Nice job. All right, so we're going to lower down. Beautiful. So we're going to move into a spinal twist, and then I'll do the legs for our friends in the room here. So we're bringing our knees together and spinal twist. You could either come to the right side with your knees stacked. Those of you who like a little more intensity can cross your left leg over your right and drop down to the right side, okay? If you want to extend the twist into the neck, you'll look opposite the knees. And if you need some support for the legs, I'm going to slip a block underneath the knee or between the knees. So you all stay right there and turn the lights off for friends in the room. Love spinal twists. They're really good for releasing the lower back. So you can do these at home too, you know. So if you're feeling like your lower back needs some release or stretch, try to do some spinal twists. They're great to do, okay? You can even still do this lying in your bed. How great is that? All right. Job. So we're going to find our way to the center and then to the other side. So stacked knees to the left, or you can cross your legs right over left. And drop down to the other side. So we can look away from the knees if we want. And then find our way back to the center. Let's hug the knees in. And then we're going to do some legs up the wall without the wall. So you're going to stretch the legs up. I always like to sit on my hands or use a towel under my low back. If you want something a little more dramatic, you can slip a block under your lower back too, okay? So with our legs extend the sky, you might just like to be still for a moment and notice any sensations that are calling to you in your legs and feet. We don't often give ourselves a chance to alleviate our feet like this, right? And then we can roll the ankles, point and flex the toes. Let's go and bring the feet down, release the hands, and let's hug the knees into the chest. So one more posture before Shavasana. We're going to come to Happy Baby. So you're going to bring the knees towards the outer edge of your shoulder, okay? So our spine is completely along the mat. If you find yourself crunching through your midsection, we're going to drop down the tailbone, okay? And so you can either hold on to your hamstrings, reach for your foot, or wrap your arm around your calf muscle. So to keep the spine long, our head will stay on the mat. And you can use your elbows as a little bit of resistance for your legs. Rocking is optional. You don't have to do that. Some people, you just naturally can't help it, right? Very good. And then go ahead and bring our knees to chest. And bring the feet down. And go ahead and extend your body long, finding your space for Shavasana wherever that is for your body, okay? If it bothers your back to have your legs straight, you can bring your feet flat to the mat, knees to the ceiling, or you can do reclined butterfly. Just going to bring our eyes to a close. So we're going to start with the progressive muscle relaxation. So starting with the feet, on the inhale, we'll ball our toes into a fist. And then on our exhale, release the toes. On the inhale, clench your calf muscle. And on your exhale, release your calf muscle. On the inhale, ball the hands into a fist. On your exhale, release your hands. On your inhale, clench your biceps. On your exhale, release your biceps. On the inhale, bring your shoulders towards the ears. On your exhale, release your shoulders. And we'll soften the jaw. And relax your forehead. And we'll come into our natural breath. Starting to bring your awareness back to the space. You make some small movements with the fingers and toes. You might lift the arms above the head and stretch like you just woke up. And then we'll bring our knees to chest. Roll on to one side in a fetal position and lift up to seated. And once we're seated on our inhale, we're going to reach and stretch the arms above the head. Hands meet, and we'll bring our thumbs to our forehead for kind thoughts, to our lips for kind words, and to our heart for kind intentions. Namaste. So thank you all for hanging out with me this morning.